respective fighters versus, starting from the low end and
every time there's a new contract negotiation, we're raising a purse.
So guys now are making more, generally speaking, than they were a year or two.
Every time a fight happens, there's guys making more. Yeah, when a guy wins a fight, he doesn't go backwards; he goes forward. And all this talk, I know I'm going to be hearing this shit forever now because these guys just did it's 41 guaranteed. When this is said and done with pay-per-view, Floyd will make almost $100 million. And that's just.
So you were expecting, because of what Mayweather and the whole fight was, before the fight was about money, you were sort of expecting the guys were going to come up to you and say, these boxing guys are making this much money, what are you guys making?
The boxing guys aren't making that much money.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
You got a couple guys. It's always the same thing in boxing. You got a handful of guys that are making the crazy money, and good for them, man. The sport has been around for a long time, but people have to realize we just started making money in 2007. Do people understand that? We just started making money in 2007, and this is nothing like boxing. It's completely different. We have a league. We go in and open up all these other countries. We spend millions of dollars growing the sport. Money gets invested back into the sport of mixed martial arts here. It doesn't happen in boxing.
Dana, this might sound like a weird question, but it seems like one of the aspects that draws people in Floyd so much is just his money and his lifestyle. Have you ever considered really making like a fight about money? Like, look how much money.
Dana money.
Look how rich St. Pierre is.
Let's face the facts. Floyd Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, not that many people were interested. When he became Money Mayweather, he became this huge personality. I'm in this business. We create these shows to, sell fights and entice people into these characters and do all this stuff. I watched the show and it's just, Floyd knows how to do it. Floyd took this money side, went out, he'll go out on one of the shows and bring a stack of money and buy a car and do all these things. And it's entertaining to people. People, whether they like it or they hate it, they're invested in the fight one way or the other, whether they want to see Floyd lose or win. He's done a great job at selling himself that way. And it's just, you just can't go out and just start throwing money around and say, all right, let's do this. We're going to turn somebody into a money guy. It just is what it is. And this sport is still so young, and there's so much. We're not even sanctioned in New York. We're not even sanctioned in New York. We've just been on Fox for a couple of years, and we're talking about doing a $41 million payday. It's crazy. It's just
feedback from fans on the Ultimate Fighter episodes, where it seems like Ronda was just this beloved star, and now, and she kind of hinted at some of this, it seems like Misha's gaining a lot of fans, and some people are getting turned off by Ronda just because of the friction and how one is being perceived as opposed to the other. Have you started to notice a shift in fan bases?
No, I haven't. I don't know. I signed Ronda Rousey for a reason. That's why at first everybody was saying, oh, I had a crush on her. Yeah, I got a crush. Now you see why I signed Ronda Rousey. It's the fight business, man, and she is the reason women fight in the UFC now.
It seems like this season has been very well received thus far, 3 episodes in, and only really truly know how popular it is by the end. But is it almost surprising that it feels like people are, even on the show, more interested in the storylines involving the women than the men, that there's such a fresh coat of paint on all of this? Does it make you think that you should do this more seasons, full season with women, other stuff with women?
Well, there aren't enough women to have women every season. But yeah, it's interesting, it's different. Yeah, we hope that would be the case.
Surprising?
No. Once I ended up bringing women in, I don't think anybody's surprised at how the season would go, especially the fights. I mean, the women's fights are always entertaining. They always give 100%, and it just gets better. The season keeps getting better and better and better.
Just think about the boxing. Of course, you had your history with the Showtime. Have you changed your stance on them? They've become the king of boxing now. I think there's no doubt about that. Change your views on how they are as promoters, as a network? Are you warming up to them a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if they've become the kings of boxing yet, but I can tell you this. They've done an amazing job of going after HBO, who has been around for 30 plus years, and done what they've done very well. They came in and they took a beating on that first fight, and then this one, I mean, they hit a home run. everything, every piece of the promotion, from what Floyd did to what Golden Boy did to what Showtime did and what Canelo and his team did. It couldn't have been done any better. It was perfect. It was fun to watch. It was fun to be a part of, and it was fun to see how it all played out. And every one of them, everybody involved in that promotion that made a dime deserves it because they did a great job. I did. I bumped into all the executives. I bumped into all my boys, my buddies, and we exchanged pleasantries. And
did you really?
Yeah, we really did. They actually couldn't have been more hospitable and very cool about everything. So it was a fun weekend for me.
And do you think there'll ever be a day that the UFC fight is capable of doing 2.7 million pay-per-views?
I hope so. I mean, 13 years ago, people were asking me, do you ever think there'll be a day that the UFC could get back on pay-per-view? Do you ever think there'll be a day the UFC could get on free TV? Do you ever think there'll be a day where you'd be doing it in other countries? And here we are now. So yeah, I'd like to believe that yes, we will.
Is it just the right people? Is it on the right day? Is that all it is?
Like I said, we just started making money in 2007. This thing is still, hey, listen, I'm honored that we're always looked at like, why aren't you paying people $41 million? Why aren't you doing 2.7 million buys? That people